You're listening to Artcast from our studio in Chamwino, Tanzania. You're listening to Artcast from our studio in Chamwino, Tanzania.
Hi everyone, my name is Gudrun Columbus Monyika, reporting from Artcast Radio Chamwino, Dodoma, Tanzania. And I'm your host for today's podcast. The topic of our podcast today is a little bit different. Today we are looking for the training course that held in Entebbe, Uganda from 26th of January to 2nd of February 2018. The training course goes by the name of Project Planning and Implementation Training Course. This workshop or training course was one among the activities under the key project Art and Culture for Unit, which involved four organizations from 4 different countries. Bulgaria Open Space Foundation, Soil Exploration from Uganda, Chamwino Art Center from Tanzania, and Mind Vaganti from Italy. The project was funded by Erasmus Plus program Capacity Building in the Field of Youth. The main objective of the training course or this workshop was to develop skills on project planning and how to implement it to the community, based to the youth. Because this project aimed to empower youth to become the potential to their communities. 20 youth leaders were involved, 10 from Chamwino Art Center, Tanzania, 10 from Soil Expression Uganda, 2 youth workers from Bulgaria, 1 from Italy, and 2 from Uganda. Here I bring to you some interview we did with a participant of the training course. They share what going on this training course. Enjoy, learn, and share.
You're listening to Artcast from our studio in Chamwino, Tanzania.
This is Artcast Radio, reporting from Uganda, Kampala. And this is Fifi, and I'll be your host today. Today we're actually interviewing a few of the Art and Culture for Unity program people who have been around us here. So, and we're going to start with the Tanzanian team leader, Imani. And before we start with any other questions, I'd really like you to introduce yourself to us.
My name is Imani Stanley Matonya. I'm from Tanzania, and in this workshop, I am a team leader. Yeah, grateful to be here.
What do you feel as a youth worker? How do you feel about that? Being a youth worker.
Well, it's an activity that sharpens people's mind, and it brings the responsibility of the world change to youth. So, as a youth worker, I feel valuable, and somehow it is sharpening my mind to see that, wow, I'm worthy and I can do something for the world, for my society, for my country, for myself.
That's really nice, actually. Coming to that, what inspired you to actually, be a youth worker? Because some people are not, and you're one of the few who I've seen is. So, what inspired you?
Being a youth worker means being ready to share your everything that you have, your potential, your skills, your knowledge, to other youth who are in the environment that they cannot access that for free. So, being a youth worker, to me, it seems, I feel like a person who have been privileged enough to show other people that they are valuable and they can do other things and be seen in the society. So it's a good thing to do.
So that's very interesting. So my last question to you would be, what are your expectations of the group of people from Tanzania that you're leading? What do you expect from them concerning this project and everything that they've learned?
Mm-hmm. First of all, I feel like there is a big spark going to explode in Chamwino because there'll be a lot of activities happening, a lot of people busy. So the city will be like, wow, number of stuff are happening, crossing here and there. And also it's a good effect to the society that youth will see like, still we have some things to do. It's not necessarily that the government should employ us or other people should employ us, but we can be creative enough. We can share what we have to other people. I always have my own saying that give something free to people without asking a question that why should I too? Because at the end, then you receive feedback or you receive any reward from them without a reason that why should they give you. So it's something which is needed to the society, something that Tanzania should learn from that, something that youth should feel like we are here for this. And all the big people in the world who made changes, first they started volunteering and being free to express their ideas. That's why they made a big change in the society.
Wow, that's a really interesting concept that I've gotten from you. So I believe that you guys are creating future inspirational leaders. Am I right?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You're listening to Artcast from our studio in Chamwino, Tanzania.
So now we're with one of the facilitators, Ife. Well, my first question to you would be, who is Ife?
You want the short answer or the long answer? My name is Ife Pianki. I'm a global citizen. I basically use the arts to deliver learning using the technique of creative facilitation. I'm a poet, a singer, a mother, a mentor. I wear many hats because that is the nature of being an African woman.
That's very true. So you said it's practically being an art facilitator, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is it like being an art facilitator?
I mean, I love it because for me, creativity is the essence of being human. But what is challenging is that a lot of us have lost that ability to be creative, which I feel was quite a natural African state of being. But because we have been educated, or I would say schooled, in predominantly left brain, Eurocentric models of learning, we have really lost our essence and our identity. And I think that we need to appreciate and infuse our curricula with creative components and exercises, because if we're not creative, it makes it very difficult for us to problem solve. And the reality of living in the 21st century right now is that a lot of the challenges that we are now facing, we've never faced before in history. So we need to be developing a different kind of thinking process and orientation to how we confront these challenges that are very real. Yeah.
Okay, so I've actually seen you really passionate in what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you perform some poetry and some singing. It was really good. And so my question to you would be, what do you aspire to be the result of this workshop that you just conducted?
That's a good question. I mean, for me, it's about young people learning and understanding that any kind of achievement it's a process, and within that process you need to plan. And in fact, before you start doing anything, you need to pause and think and reflect and quantify what it is in your environment that you have access to as resource, instead of constantly thinking about what you don't have and seeing yourself as being in lack. But really, you are very blessed with a lot of quality resources, whether that's people, whether that's materials, whether that's stories, that we are abundantly blessed. And that if they could just take a bit of time to think about that, to strategize, to network, that they can produce tangible impact in their communities in relation to social change and behavioral change. But the reality of it is that it takes time. None of these things that they want to do are just a cure-all for everything. They're the first step. But if we one of the first questions I asked them when they came into the group is, how many of you are leaders? And some were very sure, and others were like not as sure. But it's like, when you take on the responsibility of leadership, you have to know that there is a process and it's a journey, and that you need to delay gratification. So if that's you ask me what would I want to see, if that's the one thing I want them to learn, is delay gratification. Not everything is about pleasure, feeling good. Do you know what I mean? Receiving recognition. There is a lot of hard work that is involved in developing yourself as a human being, and then trying to have an impact in our communities. So we have to be, the race is for those who can endure, not necessarily for the swift.
Wow, that's actually some really beautiful insight. I mean, we'll need to talk a little bit more later. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for more insight, because whatever you said was really inspiring.
Thank you.
So it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Fifi.
Asking you this few
Thank you
questions.
for being so receptive to the teachings.
Thank you too.
You're welcome.
You're listening to Artcast from our studio in Chamwino, Tanzania.
Okay, so now I'm with the famous Frank Mugisha from Soul Expressions Uganda, who's one of the participants of the workshop Art and Culture for Unity. What actually inspired you to start this training?
Well, hi, my name is Mugisha Frank, and I'm not famous, but so I've been a part of this project from the beginning, and I was part of the previous one, so it's really a continuation. And what inspired me is all the good stuff that comes with it, meeting new people, learning new and important things, and just getting to spend time with good people and have a nice time together.
Okay, so how do you feel about being a youth leader, with all the responsibilities that come with it as an African child?
Well, I'm actually enjoying the journey. It feels good, you feel alive, you feel like you're contributing to something, and personally gives me a purpose. I get to do many things and go to different places, but I know that I have a base and a home to come to and do meaningful work. So it really means a lot to me.
So what did you enjoy most about this camp?
I've enjoyed the dynamics. There's been a lot of dancing and singing, and then serious work, so I've enjoyed going through all the waves. I'm richer now in knowledge, so it's been great.
So I believe that you have a project that you want to display to the world, right?
Yep.
So what inspired you to write that project, and what do you love about it?
So last summer I was in Colorado at a summit with some youth from all over the world, and there was this particular group from a refugee camp in Uganda, and so these are refugees, but they decided to come together and form an NGO to help their fellow refugees, go through. There's too much that comes with losing your home and having to move to a new place. And so I was very inspired by this initiative, and I wanted to somehow, in my capacity, contribute to that. So that's what inspired me to write this project, and I'm happy it's happening.
That's a heartfelt compliment. Actually, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you for, buying us that time of yours that you say is really precious to be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're listening to Artcast from our studio in Chamwino, Tanzania.
So right now I'm with the famous Bagonza. a creative facilitator from Uganda, specifically from the Sosolia group. Well, my first question to you is, when people see Bagonza, who do they see?
That's a question that I don't know how to answer because every other person sees somebody else. They see a happy person, they see a jumpy person, they see a crazy person, but most of the youth that I work with, they see an inspiring person because that's the feedback I always get after maybe any major training. So that's what I think they see, and I hope that's all they see. Yes.
And who is Bagonza?
Bagonza is a person who went to school to learn music, but ended up getting more than music. Right now, I'm a creative facilitator, but I don't even know why. I mean, somehow I didn't plan for this, but it just came. And when it came, I embraced it, and I feel like I'm in my comfort zone of being a creative facilitator. And I keep on growing as a creative facilitator, which I always want to be.
So, apart from feeling like you're being in your creative zone, what else inspired you, gave you that spark that, yes, I want to be a creative facilitator?
The youth. For some reason, I always like working with children because they always keep me upbeat. And I thought, why not be part of their growth, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and mentally. But the only way I could do that is by trying to inquire from them what they think they need to do. So that is the only way I can push them to think beyond where they are, not to keep on giving them information, but to get the information from them by asking questions. So I thought, why not? And it was fun. It kept on getting better and better and better and better until today. Yeah.
Okay, so how has your experience with this week been, this creative week, this facilitation week?
It has been intense. It has been interesting. It has been eye-opening because not only have I learned how to get projects done or how to dissect a problem down to the core. I've always thought, I have a problem. You can always find, but now you can actually break it down, and when you're solving it, you have serious reason why you're actually solving something. So I have gotten to add on my mental and to even think better on how to do things. Yes.
Okay, that's really interesting. It's a very interesting insight from you. It's actually different from all the other facilitators. So what are your expectations with this project? I mean, how do you think it's going to impact people?
If this project is done well, it is going to be ballistic. Because right now, there are 20 people who have 20 different projects. That already has a massive impact that it is going to create. And the beautiful thing is, it is the youth that are going to do it. It's not the old generation that is actually thinking of doing this, but it is the youth. That means they already have a fan base that is ridiculous. So if it is done well, and I'm sure it's going to be done well with serious supervision, this is going to be a very good stepping stone for people to actually move from one point to another. Yes.
Okay, Bagonza, thank you for your time. It's been really nice hearing your thoughts and, your ideas. So really appreciate it.
Pleasure is all mine.
Thank you.
You're listening to Artcast from our studio in Chamwino, Tanzania.
Okay, so now we're with one of the participants of this camp from Chamwino Arts Center, Dr. Botea. I'll go straight ahead to the questions. What made you want to come to this training program?
I love learning, and that made me. I always want to know more and more about things, and that is what is pushing me to do things, because I know that I need all the knowledge in my life to be able to do certain things. Yeah, and this was amongst of the things that I wanted to do. So yeah, I came for it.
Okay, so I know that you're a leader where you are, right?
Yes.
So how does it feel being a youth leader, having all these responsibilities around you?
Well, it's good and challenging because sometimes you may try to do things, but people don't get to see. It's like I always say that it's so hard. You are the one who know where you want to go. You're the one who see a clear picture of your vision. And sometimes you may share it with other people, but they no may get it like the way you want it to be. So sometimes it may be very hard for people to understand what you want and what you want for the better of all of us. But then again, it's good because I got to meet. I love meeting new people. I got to meet so many people around, learn from them, and to hear what they think about certain things that we are doing. Yeah, I like it that way. I like it that.
Okay, so I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. You actually wrote a project, right?
Yes.
That you really want to do.
Yes.
What inspired you? What made you want to do that project?
Well, from where I'm coming from, I'm a university student. Well, from where I'm coming from, I have seen people. Even I myself, I was in that situation. You know, in career, my project is realization of purpose and career development, but I feel like I wasn't helped enough to realize what I want, and I was in kind of dilemma to choose what I want for myself. But then I came to think that if it happens, you got to know about yourself. You know about yourself. Then from then on, you can choose what career is good for you, and that is what you want to go for. It could be very good. It could be very good, and it could help people not to be in that situation that I and my other people were facing.
Okay, the last question that I'm gonna have for you is, what did you enjoy about this camp? What do you love about it?
The people, the environment, the activities, everything, the art, the dancing, everything. It's like I had a privilege of experiencing so many things, something too emotional things, so much fun things. Yeah, so it's like I was in this kind of changing things, like I'm moving in every kind of situation. It's challenging, it's happy, it's good, yeah, everything. So yeah, I'm very glad that I was here, and I'm looking forward to be in another more and more. Yeah.
You seem really happy. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
You're listening to Artcast from our studio in Chamwino, Tanzania.
So now I'm with this Shamsa, straight from Soul Expressions, Uganda. Okay, so what made you want to join this camp?
The inspiration from my team members in Soul Expressions, the unity among us, the power for us to join and create new things is the ones that drive me to join this camp, because it was about project planning, sharing new ideas. So I was excited to join this movement.
You talked about creating something new. And I believe that during this time you've created something, like a project that you want to do, right? What inspired you to write that project? What gave you that push that you want to do that project?
My inspiration comes from the fact that the youth, or my fellow youth, are not into creating new things. Most of us go on YouTube, find out about other people's inventions, and we are actually somehow pushed to try to do things like them, instead of looking into our inner self. What do we want to create? What inspires us? So it's that deep feeling about creating something new that drove me to start this project.
And how do you feel about being a youth leader, especially in this Africa that we see?
I feel like I'm adding something more to the movement and to the development of us as Africans. Yes.
Okay, and my last question to you would be, what did you love about this camp?
I love the unity, the ability of everyone to give in their ideas, what they think. So it was like I'm given a new perspective into looking in the life we are living in right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. It's been really nice listening to your perspective of things.
You're welcome.
You're listening to Artcast from our studio in Chamwino, Tanzania.
Okay, so we're back at Artcast Radio, and right now we're interviewing one of the main facilitators / the organizer of this workshop, Sebulime Davis from Soul Expressions, Uganda. Well, my first question to you would be, when people hear Davis, who should they expect?
Wow, that's a tough one, I guess, because I used to define myself as an artist who used to do dance and film, but I feel like my role is it's changing as I discover and reconstruct myself. I feel like my purpose is to mentor, educate, and inspire, and that's what I want to do. But I use dance, I use film, I use football to do that. So that's how I would say that's Sebulime Davis.
So, you're an artistic facilitator, right? What inspired you to be such a person? What inspired you to be a youth worker?
I think it goes back when I was still performing with the dance company. I reached a time when I felt like something was missing. I was only training, performing, get money, and have fun. And then it reached a time when I felt like I needed something more with my life. And I got to volunteer with an organization that was doing dance, but for social transformation. And I was like, how does that look like? So when I engaged in the activities, I loved that more than just being up on the stage. So when I tried that, it was fulfilling. And I said, how do I improve in that sector? And then I got a chance to work within Movement, who were like amazing. And with that team, I think the magic happened. I transformed into the person that I am today because of the trainings, but also because of the team that I was surrounded with. It gave me new purpose, and ever since then, I've never looked back, because I said, if this has given me a reason to live, it can give somebody else a reason to live. So I'm going to take it on as an obligation to just do the same for somebody else out there. Yeah, that's why I made up my mind to do this kind of work.
Okay, you've answered 2 questions at once. So,
Okay.
So you've conducted this workshop. What are your expectations? What do you expect from the youth that you've trained? What do you think you want to achieve from this?
I think for me it's that awareness and ability that a person gets to know that they're in charge of their lives. That's the most important thing, because without that power, we are always shadows, like running in other people's shadows. And I've been doing that all my life. So with this training, I was like, how can we equip and inspire ourselves with these tools, with these equipments, to see that we are also part of the events that change the courses of our lives, that we get the power back we've been giving away to our political systems, to our religious systems, and all that. So I'm looking at people leaving this training camp very independent, with power to go and decide what they want to do with their lives. That, for me, I don't know, because it's going to keep changing because of where they're going to go after here, university. I don't know, but I feel like what I wanted these people to take out of this training is that power, that I have choices and I have the will to exercise them. I don't have to agree with everyone else. If they can do that, I'll be the happiest man ever.
Wow, that was actually really insightful and say a different intake, from what I've heard. So thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this with us. And it's been really nice getting to know the real Elisha Sebulime Davis.
Thank you so much.
You're listening to Artcast from our studio in Chamwino, Tanzania.
Artcast Radio from Kampala, Uganda. And right now we're with one of the main facilitators slash coordinators of this workshop. I'm not going to introduce her, but she's going to introduce herself and tell her who she is. And, you know, when people see her, what do they see? What should they see? What should they expect?
Well, so much responsibility you put to me. Hi, my lovely people from Tanzania, and welcome to people that listen us now. My name is Pepa. I'm from Bulgaria, and I start to work with my colleagues from Tanzania and Uganda 2012 after meeting with them in Poland. And step by step, we're going to our common future, I hope, to introduce each other, to understand more about ourselves, about our cultures, our dreams, and so on. And for me, all these years was very rich with a lot of experience, a lot of cultures. I changed myself a lot, people around me also, and with very big pleasure I see and discover very good people from Tanzania and Uganda that impress me and that inspire me to continue to work, to continue to wish to communicate, to be in contact with them, and to see how they grow up and how they develop themselves. What to expect from me? It's a good question. Maybe new challenges, new provocations. I like this, and also I want to be provocative from people. I work with young people exactly for this because they keep me all the time to be in attention, to see what they want, what is their dream, because they are our future and we should support them. We should listen to them and to help to go in the good direction.
What made you start conducting this training course, the one that we just had?
This training course was with the idea to make to give a knowledge of young people from Tanzania and Uganda, how to make a project planning, how to write a project proposals, and to be independent, to know how to realize their ideas. And our focus is not only to apply in front of Erasmus Plus program, and only to follow the main ideas of this project and main goals, art and culture for unity, but also these young people that participate here to understand their dreams and to know how they can realize these dreams step by step, slowly, and to know that this can be done now with small resources that I have, with the small capacity that I have around me, my colleagues, friends, relatives, and then step by step to see how my dreams can come true, actually. And next 3 months, it's a very important period for all these participants because we was in the security space to play game, to practicing, to speaking and to giving a feedback, and to planning what to do next 3 months and a half. Idea is to see how this can be realized and can be implemented. So I hope after 3 months and a half to see good results, to see these people happy and satisfied of their results, and to see them ready to continue with this first step that they will be done. It's a hard process, I know this, but we should start from somewhere.
Okay, so what inspired you to start working with African people?
2012, I meet Davis from Uganda and Alice Makula from Tanzania. We was in one very big international festival in Poland, Brave Festival, and I have a chance to spend a lot of time with them. 3 weeks we was together, speak, discovering each other, share what and how we work with our children and with our youth around us. And I discovered that our goals it's very similar. We want to encourage these people to grow up and to find their powers and their skills and to develop them. And actually this inspired me to make these projects and to work. And European Commission support us in 2014. We worked for 2 years together, and our partnership was nice for me, was successful, productive, fruitful, and I decided why not. I see a lot of sense to continue to work with these people. For them was also successful collaboration. So after that we apply again. European Commission again support us. So I believe in this our partnership, and I'm sure that our work together was not only with this project and will not stop to here. Idea is to see what we want to develop in our future, to where we want to go, and to planning together our next project. So very soon we'll be again together with our colleagues. In June actually we have an evaluation meeting, and we'll speak, okay, what was done and where we want to continue together, or everyone in some direction with some support with someone. So we'll see in June in our evaluation meeting, and we'll planning next steps. More?
Yeah.
Two more.
Okay, so this is my last question to you. What is your expectation with the people that you work with? What do you expect from them?
What I expect? I expect from them to find their sense and their meaning and to follow. I don't want to give to someone, okay, this purpose it's a good, this goals it's a good, follow them. No, I want these people to find themselves and to be sure that this is my direction. And if I can help somehow, I will be happy to see how they grow up. This is important for me. It doesn't matter in which direction. For me, it's important people to be themselves, to be in their shoes, and to going and to wake up and to grow up with their dreams.
That is really sweet. Thank you so much, Peppa.
Thank you for you young people that participate in this training and give not 100, you give really 500% from yourself to learn all this hard topic for this short time, to project planning and writing. And honestly, I'm so happy with the results that we have these days. So I expect to be happy in the end and satisfied with the result of your implementation. So good luck for you also.
Thank you.
You're listening to Artcast from our studio in Chamwino, Tanzania.
It's me, yours, Gudrun again from Artcast Radio, Dodoma, Tanzania. We're back again. So, after listening the interview, I believe that everyone knows what's happening in Uganda during our training course. That was not the end. Still, the project continued. After the workshop or training course, all 20 participants were supposed to plan and implement their own project in their community under €100 budget funded by EU Erasmus Plus program. All the projects were very successful and brought positive impact to their communities. Thanks to Open Space Foundation, Chamwino Art Center, Soul Expression and Mind Vaganti for making this happen. Special thanks to our dear listener for your time. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Artcast Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram as Chamwino Art Center, Open Space Foundation and Soul Expression. Ciao. Thank you.
The project is carried out thanks to the financial support of the European program Erasmus Plus, K-Action 2, Capacity Building in the Field of Youth.